If I'm not the first, I'm definitely the second person to ever mention this Cuban link manufacturer that nobody's ever heard of. When it comes to big boy production, manufacturing, and wholesale, there's one team that's at the top, and it's 3 letters that everybody knows. VIP. Everybody knows VIP Miami Cuban Links. Before you even started watching YouTube, before I started putting everybody on to Miami Cuban Links manufacturing, VIP held it down across the board. All over New York, all over the Diamond District. Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Miami, all over. VIP, aka Miami Cuban Links, that's what the corporation is called, has a ridiculous manufacturing setup that can produce kilos in maybe 30 minutes. Kilos in 30 minutes. The type of infrastructure that they have can't be touched. And I haven't heard of any wholesale manufacturing setup that can compete. There hasn't been one time, at least for New Yorkers, going to the Diamond District or seeing Instagram posts and everybody putting, yo, Miami Cuban Link for sale, X amount per gram, VIP. I'm sure a ton of people never knew what the hell that meant. That's the manufacturing. They kind of held the standard when it came to pumping out Miami Cuban Link. But in my experience, as huge as they are and literally at the top of the food chain, there are QC issues between them. You can have 7 Miami Cuban Links from VIP next to each other, same size, same millimeter, and they're gonna be, I feel, drastically different, at least from what I've seen. But that never stopped anybody from buying them, and nobody can mess with them until now. So let's roll my music so I can put you on to the new sleeper on wholesale big boy Miami Cuban Link manufacturing, BMX.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Listen, one of my beautiful peoples, you know who it is. It's your boy, C to the U to the B to the A. I said BMX like the bicycle, not DMX, RIP. Not many people know about this. It's not something you can Google. I can't even get a hold of the manufacturing plant. So here's a little bit of inside baseball. And why am I sharing with retail consumers? Because there might be some potential business people out there that might want to do their research when it comes to Miami Cuban Link manufacturing and buying and wholesale. So this is a gem for y'all. But for the retailers, why do y'all care if you can't get it? So I share this info because just like you see VIP chains in your particular Diamond Districts, you're gonna start seeing a lot of these BMX ones, and when you see that stamping, you'll have a perspective to go off of. This is real inside baseball talk. So according to my sources, there's no retail operation specifically for that manufacturing. I'm sure there's chains spread out all over the South, and I know that there's some in the Diamond District, and I do know that Trax was getting some BMX joints, because I did hear Trax mention them at one point, and he might have been the first person before me to mention the BMX manufacturing. I keep it a stack. If I heard it from that dude first, I'ma say, yo, I heard Trax mention BMX and shit when I was already like looking up stuff. So he had it, and I believe he even complimented like, yo, this is a nice made manufacturing as far as a wholesale joint. Apparently you can't get a wholesale account with them unless you're literally trying to spend at least 200 right from rip. So based on all the relationships I built, I have a wide net of networking, and I started asking people, and a couple people were like, yeah, now they make some fire shit. So I finally got my hands on one, and I'm gonna share my thoughts and opinions on this BMX joint. So here's the piece right here. And as I mentioned, very impressive links, man. Look at the file on these joints. Very nicely done, very comparable to the traditional Miami Cuban link. So if you were in the major Diamond District and you see a BMX chain, trust me, this is something that you can get that has that common look, that new style file, not the old bubbly style that you're looking for. Very consistent, very clean across the board. It has, for me, a more modern and better quality look than some of the VIP joints I've seen. And I'm saying some because, again, not every chain is the same when it comes to VIP. Some have really good quality, others feel rushed. This joint is pretty consistent throughout the board, but it does have some issues here in reviewing this piece. Now here's the box lock situation, which is one of the first issues, and I'll explain why. It is casted. Most of these big manufacturers are going to cast the lock so they can crank them out quicker. Ain't nobody got time for that. It's all about quantity, speed, and volume when it comes to these manufacturers. But it does click in place, satisfactory lock. Look, good snap. Good locking situation, a good snap. The stamping is down here. It's 10K, BMX. Good press on that button. Once again. Good click. Figure eights are a little trashy. There was quality control issues in there. Boom, look at this one. It's like plastered and shit. Looks like they hammered the shit out of this one. This one is pretty consistent. They got kind of a little bit of an upslant, not too bottom heavy. And the links are decently consistent. There is some inconsistencies here, but not horribly. There isn't jammed up links or anything like that. But There are a couple issues that I've noticed. First off, you can clearly see that there's a discrepancy between the casted box lock and the links, which generally happens with a lot of casted locks, is that there is no harmonious synergy throughout. So this one's a 14 millimeter, but this one you can clearly see this joint is about a 17 plus millimeter casted lock on a 14 plus millimeter. So that's a little bit of a discrepancy. Once again, this is nitpicking, but this is what this channel is about, providing little details here and there and opinions on those details. This is not going to bother anyone. 1000% nobody's gonna get upset about this joint for somebody Bayam Cuban link unless they're super OCD. But I gotta point out what I see. So we got issues here with that figure 8 that was plastered. That looks like it was chewed on. We got a 3 millimeter larger lock on this Cuban link. The spacing and the gaps between these two is actually well done, so I give them props on that. Also, this chain does not hang straight at all. Now, big millimeter chains generally have to have a little bit of a twist to them so they can lie nicely on the chest. However, this one does not have a slight twist. This joint is the Chinese staircase, fam. Look at this shit. This shit is right here, twist, all the way flattening out. There is zero hang straight. Look at this joint. Look at the twist on this shit. That is wild. Again, big millimeter sizes have to have a little bit of a curvature. They have to have a little bit of a curvature because they have to lay flat on the chest. This one, this is all twisted. Look at that joint. I let it go and it was like springboard action. Look at this. This shit is crazy. But again, most consumers who are buying these pieces, since it's not going to be a custom order retail piece, are not checking for that and are not going to care. But look wise, I'm highly impressed. It literally looks like one of the custom Cuban links that you order from any of the brands that you've seen on my channel or not seen on my channel. Very clean, nice file, good look. For a mass-produced, like heavy quantity Cuban, I've seen a few in pictures that actually look better than this one, but seeing this joint in person kind of solidifies, as of this point, a certain level of consistency and quality control. How long that will last, I have no idea. All in all, what I want to do is just expose you guys to a brand that if you're not going to order from these people online, you rather just go to the district, try it on, feel it. So it's more of a visceral sensation. Then right next to the VIPs, you should ask them if they have manufacturers with the BMX stamp on it. You're getting that mass manufactured chain, but with actually a really nice modern look. The big boy piece. Oh, these joints is just too big even for me. But even with the hoodie on, it struggles to have a little bit of a setback in there, but you're not gonna care. Neck profile. What do you guys think? For a big manufacturing, for your entrepreneurs who are looking to get into that space and not deal with any of the other brands, and you got some money to spend and you're really trying to get some quality and potentially some savings if you got that kind of wholesale money, BMX might become the new VIP standard when it comes to your local Diamond District's Miami Cuban link manufacturer. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart, and I'll see y'all stitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. Smooches.
What's fresh? Who's best? Wanna know who's gonna pass the test? Cuban. For the fly gun holder, money folder, Motorola start tag when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would